English language test clinic. I've said it correctly. Right, so I'm going to invite someone. Usually, as you know, I don't come this early in the day with regards to lives, but I thought I'll try this with my friend. So let me just see if I can find her. So I need to find Amelia. Let me see if I can find her. I'm trying to invite her. Oh, we've got some suggestions. Okay. Amelia, if you could just type something. Okay, it will happen. These things, when they go live, anything could happen. Right, okay. Hello, hi guys. Hope you're well. Right, okay. Right, Amelia should be here. She's not here. Okay, how do I do this? You have no requests. Okay, there's my friend called Amelia, IELTS with Amelia. She should be here. And if she is, that'll be really good. And how are you guys doing? It's been a long time, hasn't it? Mina, how are you? Sangiga, how are you? Chris, how are you? I'm sure you pronounce it Chris. Tufail, hello. I know Tufail. Shankoli, hello. Achiever, yes. Siladinho, lady, Yalide. Hi guys. Well, I'm just waiting for my student, my friend to come. It's IELTS. Are any of you guys studying IELTS? That's what I want to know. Right, she's not coming. That's because... How do I do this? Is IELTS... dot with Amelia. Tell me how you're doing. Tell me how you're doing. Well, I can't find her, so I don't know what to do now. This is a bit embarrassing. Right. Oh, we have... Yes, I've met some of you guys. I've just met someone I've just spoken to earlier. Right, Amelia. Right, I don't know how to find her, so I want to invite her. Right, guys, do you have any ideas how to do this? Hello, John. Right, let me just type it up. Okay, Amelia, join in the live. Right, okay. And then you can request. Hi, Mina. Right, do you have any questions while waiting for Amelia? And to join. Okay, right, how are you doing? Right, with regards to UK university admissions, is there anything that you need to know? Any updates? Can't see any prompts. Oh, she can't see any prompts. Okay. Okay, so there should be a button at the bottom. Guys, if you could help me out as well. What my guest is here, I believe. Let's see. My guest, Amelia, you're not, she's not even here. You are not in the live. You are not. I hope we can edit this. Attending the live. Join from the homepage. Right, so any questions so far with regards to UK university admissions while we're waiting for our guest? Any ideas? Any questions? Let me know. Mina, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? What time is it in West Africa at the moment? It must be 3:10. So what do you guys do at that time of day? Oh, there she is. Amelia's just joined. She started to follow me. Okay, there you go. IELTS with Amelia. There you go. We've got her at last. Right. She should be coming now. Right. Hello, Mesbah. Assalamu alaikum. I know him very well. Right. Hello, you made it. Oh, okay. Let's wait for her.
Hi.
Oh, you made it.
Hi.
You made it. Right.
Hi. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
We know how it works now.
Now we know how it works. That's fine. We'll edit it later on. Right. So, thank you for coming, Amelia. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who are watching, basically, Amelia. Oh, I don't need to say anything. Please introduce yourself if you can.
I think, well, you introduced me so well in all your materials so far, but my name is Emilia and I consider myself to be an IELTS expert. I have been working with IELTS for over 10 years now. I have done quite a lot around the test. I love preparing for reading and writing specifically. something that a lot of teachers I know don't like too much.
Oh, okay.
um, what else? I am, well, I would say I love IELTS. Yeah, I'm definitely not against it. By the way, everything I say here, I say because that's my experience of the test. I have taken the test myself. I have prepared for it. I have worked with examination centers quite closely, so I know how the exam works sort of from all sides. And yeah, so everything I say here, it's not that I'm paid for by IELTS.
Passion, it comes from here, isn't it, Amelia?
Yes, yes.
Amelia is an enthusiast, so she's here clearly for to help you guys. Some of you may need to actually. I can't even say anything today. Some of you may need IELTS or other English language test, which could be a CELT even, or any others. It could be TEFL, it could be the OIETC test, it could be any test. But in this situation, Amelia is actually a specialist within her field. She's Delta qualified. She does know what she's talking about. She's experienced. She has dealt with international students. She knows how you work. She's been working on the other side of the coin with regards to IELTS. Now, so tell me, what is this phobia? People say, "Oh man, IELTS." So why is it so difficult?
I
IELTS.
think I think one of the main reasons I identify three reasons. One of them is that IELTS tries to cater to all levels. So IELTS is designed to test learners at all levels, from non-user to expert user.
Okay.
So students who appear, who are at a lower level will struggle more because there is more material within the test that they are simply not able to process
Okay.
themselves. So I think that's one thing. Another thing is that an average language learner, and it also happens with English, which is such a popular foreign language to learn, is that learners usually plateau, which means that they stop learning, they stop growing within the learning journey at a much lower level than what usually they expect from themselves in IELTS. So learners plateau at intermediate level, so that's band 4 or 5, and usually what's expected of them is band 6 or above. And so this creates a certain conflict. And another thing is that magic line between band 6 and 7. So band 6 learners are upper intermediate, and
Right.
band 7 learners are advanced. And when I worked in language schools in London 20 years ago, at the start of my journey here in the UK, going from upper intermediate to advanced took about 6 months of attending a course full time, which means 20 hours or 30 hours per week of intensive study. And so a lot of learners think, okay, if I have 6.5, to get a band 7 will not be such a difficult thing to do. And so this is where all the trouble is, I think, with IELTS.
So that's the reason why students might find it a bit scary. And that's the title of today's event, Friend or Foe. For those of you, okay, while we have 7 lovely students here, we're so happy you're here. So if you could kindly give us the definition. We are both teachers, we can do this, we have the license. Could you please kindly tell us what is the definition of foe, F-O-E? If you do, let us know. We'd love to know, and then we'll definitely give you a shout out. So basically, Amelia, so what is the IELTS actually designed for?
Um, I think IELTS is designed to help learners get where they want in their lives. Here a little bit of history. IELTS went live in 1989, and in 1995 it was simplified, it was reviewed, and this is where general and academic modules were introduced, and the whole test was simplified to kind of get rid of any confusion. And well, as the name suggests, academic IELTS is actually designed for students to enter tertiary education, and general training is designed for secondary education and immigration.
Okay.
And so I think there's a lot in the name. IELTS Academic is designed to help you get where you need to be with your English so that your studies in the English language are easy for you, are doable for you. And now if you think about it, if you think about where you come from, not everyone from your country will be ready to study at university in terms of the language they use, the knowledge they have, the sort of educational experience they have. And so IELTS is actually helping a lot of students bridge that gap. And that's why it's so difficult. A lot of friends that you may have may not be equipped to deal with higher education in their own language. And
Right.
so we are jumping, this is a huge gap to bridge for anybody, even in their native language, let alone a foreign language.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. I just want to give a shout out. I don't know if you're showing off or you're here to improve your IELTS. Amelia, can you see we have Alamodi 86. He says, I got 6.5 overall. Yay! Big clap.
Well
We
done.
need to give an
Yes,
applause.
yes, that's
Keep it
lovely. Oh
up.
yes,
Keep it
I can
up.
see. I
Yeah.
can see the message now. Lovely.
Cool, cool, cool.
That's
Keep
a
it up.
great achievement.
That is well done. So basically, now that you've said to us that what it's the purpose for, okay, it is a big stepping stone to depending on where you want to go in terms of your destination. Oh, so what can it do for me? I mean, pretend I'm thinking as an international student. So what can it do for me? What's the purpose of doing an IELTS?
I will start with reading. Reading is my favorite of all skills in IELTS. The first thing it does, it equips you with strategies that you will need in the course of your studies, and they are skimming and scanning. I know that they have been mentioned in all IELTS materials and in various, online sources. A little bit too much, and everyone is sick and tired of skimming and scanning, while this is actually some sort of a insidious trap, because you really need to embrace skimming and scanning if you want to survive uni.
Mm,
And to and I'm not ashamed to say this. When I started uni, I had no idea about skimming and scanning. And so when I started uni and my teachers gave me about 15 books to read a week, I panicked and I thought, okay,
how do I do it?
apparently I'm not made to be a university student because I am physically not able to do that. Why, if they're expecting me to do it, there must be people who can do that. And I was sure I wasn't one of those people. And so, yeah, skimming and scanning is one of the things. Another thing, the IELTS question, the most notorious question in IELTS reading, which is true, false, not given. I think it's one of the best questions ever because it teaches us how to let go of the assumptions we make when reading and how to let go of any biases we have when
Right.
reading, and to concentrate on what the text is actually telling us. And working with students all the time, I notice that somehow they have a completely different idea of what the text is telling them versus what is actually happening. And true false not given is really sort of a very cruel mirror for everybody, and it really tells us, okay, you have some work to do. So
Okay.
that's for example reading. Writing, definitely, if it's 6.5 or above, you are learning how to communicate in a written form, probably better than in your native language.
Wow. Okay.
And
I didn't know
let's
that.
take a moment to digest that, because again, looking at my educational experience, I learned how to write when learning to write in English at that level, like 6.5 and above. Teachers all over the world, and I have experience of teaching people from 77 countries plus. I stopped counting at 77, but it happens across the board. We actually, and some people know that very well, schools don't seem to be teaching us the things we really need. And one of them is being able to communicate at a very high level as a confident writer. So
Okay.
that's another thing.
Oh,
And with the listening test, again, if you are to spend a lot of time listening to lectures, if you are to, let's say, survive a day after you immigrate to Canada, Australia, or any country,
okay.
assuming that Google Translate doesn't work,
Yeah.
how will you do that? And so the listening and speaking tests prepare you for that. Also, with speaking, you learn how to gather your thoughts. You learn how to plan what you're going to say. You make sure that you know how to express your opinion, how to take part in a discussion that is about some abstract concepts. At the beginning of the speaking test, you present yourself. Seems easy, but not so when you're put, in front of an examiner in the spotlight and you need to do it properly. So,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. There's a lot to learn, guys. You need to keep watching this video again and again if you want to be able to learn how to get the ideas. It's we actually do take our language for granted, right? We talked about a follower here. We've got a lovely attendee here, Alamudi 86. He said he needed to. It's all to do with tips and tricks. I get you. I get you. And he said, "Oh my goodness, he actually followed your advice. You mentioned a couple of weeks ago. He actually bought a book, How to Get a 7." But then he got a 6.5.
Mhm.
So he said, I bought a book, How to Get 7 and Above in IELTS. I think you did say something about that, about levels and what kind of book you should buy. I swear you did
Well,
something like that.
yeah, I mean, in general, what I would suggest is, and I think for everyone attending this video, it might be a little bit too late, but in general, don't approach IELTS before you are fully confident or as confident as you can be with your English, as it is in general. So I would suggest working with a lot of non-IELTS materials and concentrating on improving your vocabulary and grammar, and then working on your skills, writing better, writing a good paragraph, etc., and then concentrating on IELTS. Otherwise, IELTS is torture.
Oh, we've got a question here, if you could answer.
Mhm.
Chris 16 underscore, are there different approaches to academic IELTS and general IELTS? Good question, thank you.
Indeed. Well, general IELTS is said to be more relaxed. And so for both tests, I would advise reading a lot. My students usually come and say, well, I don't score well in reading. I ask them, do you read? No, I don't read at all. Well, here is your answer,
Yeah,
really. So I would, if you don't make it a lifelong habit, and you don't have to, no judgment here, at least around your exam, make sure that you read a lot. And so with academic English, you do need to sort of look at the material that is aimed at general public, yet the material is a little bit more of a technical academic nature. So I guess my favorite resource to send you to is reading New Scientist.
mm,
So all the kind of scientific content, but geared towards general public. I think that is a general piece of advice from me. And that should also help. And preparing for writing in terms of academic writing, I do put that academic hat on, which means that when you write the essay, you're not writing a high school composition anymore. You pretend that you're writing an essay for your university professor,
okay.
and that essay needs to be written in formal academic style, no talking about you, me, and we. So instead of saying, let's say, let's take care of our planet,
Yeah,
you will need to rewrite it and say it is crucial
protect our planet.
to protect the planet,
Oh,
not
oh,
even
sorry,
our
yeah, yeah,
planet, because
the
it's
planet.
personal, right? Yes,
Okay.
so little things like that.
Brilliant. Well, I hope that helps you, Chris, with regards to the difference between general and academic. If you want to go back and listen to it again, please do so. Right. Yes, another attendee does agree with you. The more you read books, the more you get. We totally agree with you. We're on the same wavelength. That's good. Right. I am underscore Mama said, is IELTS compulsory? That's an admissions point of view. Basically, in the UK, as you know, UK Bright Education, as the name suggests, we do actually specialize in UK university admissions. Majority of my student clients, they tend to not have IELTS because I tend to work with students from West Africa, but I welcome admissions from all around the world. So IELTS is not compulsory. It depends on the country where you're coming from and the course. The university that I work with, I try to work with universities which doesn't require IELTS. If WIC and NECO, C6 above, English language is accepted, get in touch. I'm more than happy to help you. There are certain courses which you do need IELTS no matter what your nationality is. That includes social work, nursing, medicine, dentistry, ophthalmology. There are certain obvious ones that you need an IELTS for, but if you don't want to do IELTS, or if you feel that your English is sufficient, just get in touch with me. I'm more than happy to consult you with that. Brilliant. Okay, so I just want to say, so basically, are you saying IELTS is a gift? It's actually a good thing after all that?
I think it is because it's like any challenge in life, it comes to us usually at the right moment when we need it. Are we happy with it? Probably not, but it is the working through the challenge that is our process of becoming. And so most of my students, when they start their IELTS journey, they start the process of becoming advanced learners, advanced users of the language, confident users of the language as they come out the other side. And then the most important thing of all is that IELTS is not just for IELTS. Please do not, if you're still thinking you're doing IELTS for the sake of IELTS, this is where things go pear-shaped, let's say. And I noticed that for teachers, my fellow teachers, unfortunately, as well. You need to, I feel like I have the duty to teach beyond IELTS. I know that the skills you learn will always be helpful. Even the skimming and scanning in reading. I tested it on myself. It worked in Spanish. It was brilliant. You do process language, you process information in a different way, and it's all beneficial to you. So IELTS is a great gift, and it will carry you and it will keep on giving long after you start your studies, long after you graduate. That's my point of view, at least.
Looks like someone likes IELTS. Don't you agree, guys? I think she likes IELTS. That's what she's trying to say. Hashtag love IELTS. Is there a hashtag? Do you know what my kids say to
We
mommy?
should
Got
start
to stop
we should
saying hashtags. Yeah, I know. Right, we have one person. I just wanted to say, the skimming and stuff. Chris, we're going to answer your question in a minute. Amelia, you can have a look if you want to scroll down.
Sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, what was I going to say? Forget international students, people who are actually from their native country. So when I actually started university, whether it's for my master's or for my bachelor's, we all had to learn the skill of skimming and scanning. And I thought, what? This is such a waste of time. What's going on, man? It's like, I don't need to know. But you're right, because you have so much to read, a lot to cover. Nowadays, it'll probably be all online. But yeah, you can't really go word for word. You need to skim and, how do you say it? Scan or skim?
Yes.
So
Oh, and
it's a
I'm
skill.
so happy you said that because I know that a student might not believe me entirely if I say this because I am truly enthusiastic about IELTS. I'm a teacher, so I might be biased, and I also am not a native speaker, but to hear this from you is certainly an encouragement. I have something, a piece of information that you might be really curious to know. According to the first language, the best IELTS takers are German speakers. And
Really?
English speakers, people whose English is their first language, are in the second position.
Oh, okay.
along with Romanian and Greek speakers. And something interesting, probably to most of our listeners here, Yoruba speakers are in the fifth position.
Yay! Yoruba is there! Yay! Yes, that's really dialect. Also, Yoruba is in fourth place.
Fifth place.
Fifth place. Okay.
Yeah.
What about Hindi and Bengali and Urdu speakers?
No, nothing in the first 5 positions for some reason. But
and what about Arabic speakers? Because we have some Arab speakers here.
No, not mentioned. They just gave us the first 5. But it's interesting to know that it's not native speakers. It's actually German speakers.
German speakers. Yeah. My goodness. My goodness. Right. So I don't know what to say. Right. So basically, we have Chris. He said yay to Yoruba. Yay. Okay, so there's a classic question which comes up. It comes up nearly every time we're on here. To your experience, which section do you think is the most technical? That's your question, Amelia.
I guess. It will be writing task 1 if you get a lot of data to describe in a report, and it will be the reading test where you can get texts about anything from, let's say, civil engineering and building bridges to the stories behind sand and childhood psychology and, like whatever field. Also good to mention here, so if you are, let's say, from medical field and there is a text about engineering, or the other way around, nobody's being favored here. Yes, you're lucky if you find a text that is from your field. However, it may be deceiving, because then your knowledge and your passion for the thing takes center stage, and sometimes it moves you away from what the text is actually talking about. So be careful. But in general, the test is designed in such a way that anybody from any field can answer the questions to any text. I hope that helps.
I hope that helps as well, Chris. Well, we wish you all the best if you're about to do your IELTS exam. Any last words of wisdom? Any pearls of wisdom? So is IELTS foe or friend? Nobody has told us the definition.
To me, certainly a friend. There's also one thing. I think that the things we don't like things we don't understand.
Yeah, that's human nature. Yeah.
And that closes that vicious circle. I would say embrace IELTS. Let's say, sometimes we meet people that we don't actually like too much. And then as our relationship grows, as we stay open, as we stay curious, we don't judge, we don't resist, then magic happens. And I think the same is with IELTS. IELTS are not trying to hurt you.
We need to trademark that. It's not that. You make me sound like a medicine. What are you doing? It's not. It's all good. It's all good. Well, thank you so much for those parting words. As you can see, Amelia is a very, very experienced young lady with regards to this field. If you'd like more information, if you'd like one-to-one assistance or any inquiries with regards to IELTS, I will put in her Instagram handle. What is your Instagram handle, Amelia?
I know with Amelia.
Yeah, there you go. Obvious.
And I can see at least one of my students here from my Instagram. So if you have any queries about uni admissions, Afsana is your person. I actually need to tell you, I spent quite a lot of time to kind of dreaming. It was my dream to collaborate with someone like you, to make someone like you available to my students as well, because I think you're doing an amazing job, and it's very much needed, and it possibly serves a lot of students and helps them really get what they need.
Not a problem. I'm always here for you. Not a problem, guys. I do have some people who I know here. We've got Moses. We've got a lecturer from Dundee University. I know him. We've got students from all around the world. I'm so grateful that you guys are here. And obviously we've got our students from West Africa. I can see them already. So thank you so much, Amelia. With regards to UK universities, you know the deal. So basically from now it is admissions for either June, July for pre-masters leading to masters, or August, September for direct masters. If you'd like an admission, all you need to do is to DM me your email address to proceed further. Not directly, you just not here publicly, but DM me direct. Okay, my friends, until next time, take care. Bye,
See
Amelia.
you.
See you next week.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.